So let's go ahead and move on to an example of what I'm talking about. And I want to hit on endurance here. So everybody familiar with the Pareto principle or heard of this before? It's basically this idea, you've probably heard of it before even if you don't know of it by that name, but it's that you get 80% of your results from 20% of the work that you put in. And what I want to do when I'm talking about a way to train the right way is show you how the Pareto principle applies to something like endurance. So this looks really, really sciencey, but don't worry, I'll walk you through it. On the left side here, we have continuous endurance training, like going out for a 2-hour run. And on the right, we have high-intensity interval training, like doing 10, 30-second sprints on the treadmill, okay? So down here on the bottom, we have all of the cool things that happen when your body becomes trained for endurance. We have an increase in fat oxidative capacity. You turn yourself into a fat-burning machine. An increase in what's called GLUT4 and glycogen. GLUT4 is the transporter that takes sugar from your intestines and pushes it out into your bloodstream. Glycogen is the storage form of carbohydrate in your liver and your muscle. You get an increase in mitochondrial density. Mitochondria are the little powerhouses in your cells that are responsible for taking oxygen and water and fuel and turning it into what's called ATP. You get an increase in slow twitch muscle function, which is the type of muscle that's responsible for allowing you to go for longer periods of time without becoming fatigued. So all these cool endurance adaptations you can see can be achieved via one of two ways, either through continuous endurance training or through high-intensity interval training. Now, I'm not going to get into the chemistry because, frankly, it's not super duper important, and you can go geek out on my website if you want to. I've got an article about 2 different ways to train the right way. But basically what happens is you get these same benefits, whether you do the 2-hour run or whether you do the 10, 30-second sprints on the treadmill, because 80% of the results are coming from 20% of the effort, and you can get that 20% from the 2 hours of continuous training or from those brief spurts on the treadmill.